All right, hello students. So I'm doing the exponential functions quiz. This is something we used when we were online hybrid last year. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what our real quiz is going to be like. It's not a perfect match at all, but I'll go through these problems. You should know how to do all of these. If you don't, please comment or ask and I will help you out. So looking at question 2, hope we can tell which one is exponential. It is the blue graph. The red one is, of course, linear. Next one, question 3. The graph is going up and to the right, so we would call that exponential growth. Growth is the word we use when the graphs go up and to the right. When you're looking at a table of XY values, how do you know if the relationship is exponential? Well, let's read through these. Is it when the Y values are added to the same amount each time? Nope, that would be a linear pattern. When they're raised to the same exponent each time, that sounds exponential, but that's not quite the way that we use the definition right now. It also would be kind of hard to tell what it means to be raised to the same exponent each time. Number 3, when the y values are subtracted by the same amount each time, no, that would be linear again. When the y values are multiplied by the same amount each time, that is what we mean by an exponential pattern. Each y value gets multiplied by the same amount to turn into the next y value. Number 5, you start paying attention to the news and notice that the number of COVID cases is 50, and it's tripling each day. So I'm looking for a 50 times 3 over and over again. That is this last one right here. Remember, our formula that we have talked about many times in this unit is b times m to the x. And so this is your beginning number, your y-intercept, and this is your multiplier. You could also call it your factor. And so if you notice, this is saying you started with 50 cases and multiplied it by 3 every day. Number 6, write an equation for this table. When I look at this table here, I am again trying to identify the b and the m. A lot of people think that 12 is the b. 12 is not the b. 24 is the b because it matches with x equals 0. This is something I've said many times, that the y-intercept is whatever you get when x is equal to 0. And then if I go from one y value to the next, you can see that they are doubling. They're multiplying by 2. So answer choice number 3 here starts with 24, multiplies by 2 to the x. Notice that it is so important that you identify the y-intercept as matching with x equals 0 in order to do this question. Now, what did I just say about finding an equation? You need to identify the y-intercept, and that's the number that matches with x equals 0. So when I look at this graph right here, this is my b, and then my m is however I can get from 24 to 6. You know that 24 multiplied by your m is 6. And so your m is 6 divided by 24, which is 1/4. Well, that's one way to do it. A lot of people can just think about, okay, what do I times 24 by to get 6? You might get a quarter. A lot of people might think, 24 divided by 4 is 6, and dividing by 4 is the same as multiplying by 1/4. Or if you run it backwards, 1.5 times 4 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24, and so you have a 1/4. So we're looking at the second answer choice, starting with 24, because that had x equals 0 next to it, and getting 1/4 as tall each time. Jared has $30 in his bank account, so that's the y-intercept. Each week he saves triple, that's pretty good. How much will Jared have 5 months from now? Suggest using a calculator on this one, and you should just type in 30 times 3 raised to the 5. Now I'm actually noticing, and I can't remember if this is a typo or not. It said week up here, and then it says months down here. I feel like that's a typo. I feel like this is the answer that we should type in, 30 times 3 to the 5, getting 7,290. Let's try it. If it was 5 months, I guess that'd be 20 weeks. And I think this is going to be way too big. Yeah, that number right there is not one of the answer choices. So we must have screwed up last year and had a little typo. But 7,290 is if you just plug in x equals 5. All right, looking at question 9. Again, I'm looking for the y-intercept, so that is where x is equal to 0. So I'm looking at 2. And then what is the multiplier? Many of you are able to just see what the multiplier is. But again, if you can't, you're thinking 2 times what makes 6? Well, m would equal 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Last, but certainly, nope, second to last, and certainly not second to least, we have an equation for the graph. I see a y-intercept of 8, and we are multiplying by half each time. We are getting half as tall each time. 8 times 1/2 to the x. And then last one, you have $1,000, and it decreases by half how much you will have in 7 days. So we're going to just take our equation, 1,000 times 1/2 raised to the 7th like that. Hit enter, and that is $7.81. And with that, we're done. Please, again, practice these until you can do them all yourself. Ask questions if anything was confusing, and I'm going to help you out.